Good evening, everyone, and I am so happy to welcome you all for the very, very special and unique speaker session on the occasion of community and economic development, which in Rotary we celebrate October month as a community and economic development. So, on this occasion, I would like to welcome our two other clubs who wish to join this speaker session as a partnering club. So I wish to welcome Rotarian Prashant from Rara Nagar Centennial and Rotarian Padmakshi from Rotary Nagarbai. Warm welcome to you all. So without any delay, I would like to ask Rotarian Chandana to call the meeting to order.
Yeah, I'm calling myself, and I call the meeting to order.
Thank you so very much, Chandana. So now I would like to ask Rotarian Raghavendra to invoke the blessings of the God.
Yes, okay. ಶ್ರೀ ಗಣೇಶನ ಚರಣ ಕಮಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ವ ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ವಿಘ್ನಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನೀಗಿಸುವಂತ ಭಕ್ತ ಪ್ರೇಮಿಗೆ ನಮಿಸೋಣ. ಶ್ರೀ ಗಣೇಶನ ಚರಣ ಕಮಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ವ ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ವಿಘ್ನಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನೀಗಿಸುವಂತ ಭಕ್ತ ಪ್ರೇಮಿಗೆ ನಮಿಸೋಣ. ಕರಿಮುಖ ಗಣಪ ಕಾಯೋ ಎಂದು ನಿರುತವು ದೈನ್ಯದಿ ಬೇಡೋಣ, ಕರುಣಾಲಯನ ಕೃಪಾ ಕಟಾಕ್ಷದ ಗಂಧಾಕ್ಷತೆಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯೋಣ. ಕರಿಮುಖ ಗಣಪ ಕಾಯೋ ಎಂದು ನಿರುತವು ದೈನ್ಯದಿ ಬೇಡೋಣ, ಕರುಣಾಲಯನ ಕೃಪಾ ಕಟಾಕ್ಷದ ಗಂಧಾಕ್ಷತೆಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯೋಣ. ಶ್ರೀ ಗಣೇಶನ ಚರಣ ಕಮಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ವ ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ವಿಘ್ನಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನೀಗಿಸುವಂತ ಭಕ್ತ ಪ್ರೇಮಿಗೆ ನಮಿಸೋಣ. ಜಯ ಜಯವೆಂದು ಶುಭ ನೀಡೆಂದು ದಿನ ದಿನ ಪಾದವ ನೆನೆಯೋಣ, ಜಯ ವಿನಾಯಕ ಜಗದ ಪಾಲಕ ಎನ್ನುತ್ತ ಹಾಡಿ ಹೊಗಳೋಣ. ಜಯ ಜಯವೆಂದು ಶುಭ ನೀಡೆಂದು ದಿನ ದಿನ ಪಾದವ ನೆನೆಯೋಣ, ಜಯ ವಿನಾಯಕ ಜಗದ ಪಾಲಕ ಎನ್ನುತ್ತ ಹಾಡಿ ಹೊಗಳೋಣ. ಶ್ರೀ ಗಣೇಶನ ಚರಣ ಕಮಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ವ ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ವಿಘ್ನಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನೀಗಿಸುವಂತ ಭಕ್ತ ಪ್ರೇಮಿಗೆ ನಮಿಸೋಣ. ವಿದ್ಯೆಯ ಬುದ್ಧಿಯ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಯ ಕೊಡುನಿ ಎನ್ನುತ್ತ ನಾವು ಭಜಿಸೋಣ, ಯೋಗವ ಭೋಗವ ಭಾಗ್ಯವ ಕೊಡುವ ತಾತಗೆ ಹೂವನ್ನು ಹಾಸೋಣ. ವಿದ್ಯೆಯ ಬುದ್ಧಿಯ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಯ ಕೊಡುನಿ ಎನ್ನುತ್ತ ನಾವು ಭಜಿಸೋಣ, ಯೋಗವ ಭೋಗವ ಭಾಗ್ಯವ ಕೊಡುವ ತಾತಗೆ ಹೂವನ್ನು ಹಾಸೋಣ. ಶ್ರೀ ಗಣೇಶನ ಚರಣ ಕಮಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ವ ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ವಿಘ್ನಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನೀಗಿಸುವಂತ ಭಕ್ತ ಪ್ರೇಮಿಗೆ ನಮಿಸೋಣ. ಶ್ರೀ ಗಣೇಶನ ಚರಣ ಕಮಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ವ ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ವಿಘ್ನಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನೀಗಿಸುವಂತ ಭಕ್ತ ಪ್ರೇಮಿಗೆ ನಮಿಸೋಣ, ಭಕ್ತ ಪ್ರೇಮಿಗೆ ನಮಿಸೋಣ, ಭಕ್ತ ಪ್ರೇಮಿಗೆ ನಮಿಸೋಣ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Thank you very much, Raghavendra, for the wonderful song. So now I request Rotarian Chandana, from President of Rotary Bangalore Abilities, to welcome the gathering.
Thank you, Arvind sir. Hi everybody, a very very good evening to all of you, and a warm welcome to all of you on this lovely Sunday evening for a wonderful speaker session on functions of RBI. Firstly, I would like to extend a hearty welcome to our speaker for today, Mr. Harish Kotian. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Yeah, hi
Also,
there.
Also, I would like to extend a hearty welcome to my co-presidents, Rotarian Prashant sir and Rotarian Dr. Padmakshi sir. Thank you so much for joining our club for co-hosting this speaker session. Thank you so much and a warm welcome to you both.
Thank
Also,
you.
I would like to
We
extend a
need
hearty
to
welcome.
thank you for also giving us the opportunity, Chandana. It's a wonderful thought process.
Thank
And
you.
namaste to all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Also, I would like to extend a hearty welcome to all our Rotary Bangalore Abilities members, all Rotarians who have joined, and all members who are not Rotarians also who have joined. Thank you so much for joining us, and a warm, warm welcome to all of you for on this lovely evening. Let's all have a wonderful evening. Let's all learn today, and happy learning to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chandana, for the wonderful welcome address. Yes, in the beginning, I forgot to mention main speaker name. So once again, warm welcome to the speaker Harish Koshan for this program. So now I would like to invite President or anybody from Rotary Bangalore Nagarbavi to make the announcements from the club.
Good evening, everybody. We are just trying to do what best we can. And the one important thing is we want to talk about, we are starting a road show on the end of this week, 26th. And we are looking for connectivities. And most important, we want your wishes. Please wish that our show will be very nice and we come back safely. That's very important. And we are trying to spread awareness on 4D. It's about depression, diabetes, drug addictions, and DEI. This is our current thought process. And looking to join hands and looking for the support. And most important, your prayers are very important for us.
Sure, madam. Definitely, we are all with you, your club. Rotary Nagarbavi is connected with RBI from almost 3-4 years.
Yes, sir.
When our first president Nagaraj become president, from there, from 3 years, we are connected. So, thank you very
Anytime,
much.
sir.
Yeah.
Abilities is like extended family to us. Hi, Arun. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Thank you.
How are you doing, ma'am?
Good. Fine. Thank you.
Now I would like to request Rotarian Prashant or anybody from their club to make the club announcement. Aranagar Centennial Club.
Thanks, Arvind. Thanks, Chandana ma'am, and also welcome my co-president, Dr. Padmakshi, and everybody on the panel today.
Hello, sir. Sorry, I missed you.
No
Namaskara.
worries. No worries. And especially warm welcome to our speaker, Harish also. And today being in the midst of, Navaratri, I'm impressed that at least we have quite a number of people attending. And from Rajarajinagar, quick updates. We did road track installation at GIMS, Global Institute of Medical Sciences. We had around 18 doctors inducted. And we had a road track interact installation at BT Convent. And we started teaching cyber safety to children. Our target is 10,000 children. We have covered around 800 children in the last 2 months. We did 2 vocational services projects. Don't want to get into details anyways. We had a very good community service project at Gandhi Senior Citizen Home in near Birdi. And we're going to repeat that, where we have seen even though seniors are so old people, they have got a lot of energy, enthusiasm, and ideas to do something. So we are going to conduct some games and activities for them this month, end of the month. We also started Project Positive Health. Some of us, I don't know, many of us must have attended this project from Rotary International. Project Positive Health is how you can proactively detect be it cancer, diabetes, and other illness that is haunting us, worldwide today. So that's very important that we have started. Uh, and we have a co-project with Sparsh Hospitals on World Stroke Day, that is on 28th of October. They have been our partner for last number of years. There we are going to talk about, doctors are in fact going to talk about, what are the causes of heart attack. And they're going to talk a little bit about how to avoid, and we have got meditation and other activities, how you can, naturally manage your, your emotions and the heart attacks and things like that. So this is what we have. We have a few community service projects. They are small in nature. Thank you, Arvind.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
thank you very much, Representative Prashant, sir. So now I request Rotarian Arun Mohan from Rotary Bangalore Abilities to make the club announcement.
Okay. Good evening to everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to present our. I wouldn't focus on what we have done, but I must insist on just one thing that we are all focused on the International Day of Disability, Person with Disability Award that happens on December 3rd. And the entire team in RBI is working towards it. And, we request all the other clubs which are present here and all the Rotarians who are here to be part of the International Day of persons with disability, because we are celebrating recognizing the unsung heroes who have done wonderful job in spite of having a disability. So that's something that we have been focusing on, and that's something that we are going to focus on till probably December 3rd. And after that, our work continues with the disabled also. But then, as per Rotary is concerned, our the Unsung Hero Award is the prime focus, and I request all the presidents and secretaries who are here to please join us to celebrate this award. And that's about it. And we are also going to do a counseling session for a school in Ramnagara, which has only blind students, and this is going to be from the 2nd standard to 10th standard, where we are counseling them, we are sitting and talking to them, we are spending time with them, and making them feel, encouraging them to feel among the normal people and along with the other disabled who are there with us. That's about it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Rotarian Arun Mohan. So now we will move to the main topic of this today's program. Now I request Rotarian President Prashant to introduce Mr. Harish Kotian to the audience.
Sure. I was just wondering, I went through Harish sir's profile. To say in 2 words, he is one of the superhumans I have come across in my life. So I can say so, and we can get it started. But many of us may not know the definition of superhuman. So let's get a lot of details about Harish sir's accomplishments. He started, his life with a bit of a tragedy with a firecracker accident, which rendered him blind. Actually, he underwent a lot of operations to restoration of sight, and it was not bearing any results at all. So he resumed education after undergoing a rehabilitation program. While studying at high school, secondary, he joined RBI as a telephone operator and continues his studies, attending morning college, and also took up graduation economics and political science after completing the post-graduation, attended the evening classes at Bombay University. In the meantime, he also attended diploma program in business management and software development. That's why I said he's superhuman. I don't see a gap between his studies, parallel, academic endeavors of Harish sir. And he was the first blind computer programmer in the country. That really, calls for a clap for Harish sir, actually. Very happy to introduce him. He was actually involved in promotional computer literacy to the blind and was a voluntary consultant to many organizations, institutions for the blind. This included Vinayan Project, co-organized by Computer Society of India, TIFR, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, and Indian Guild for the Blind. He presented numerous papers and national and international forums. He also participated in many mountaineering projects organized by prestigious Himalayan Mountaineering Institute. Also participated in the first mountaineering expedition by the disabled, Shitidar Peak, scaling 17,200 feet at Manali. This is amazing, actually, truly amazing. He also participated in car rally. He was the runner-up in the All India Institute Automatic Racing Club. Participated in Walk to Win, an awareness drive walking from Pune to Mumbai to raise awareness and the abilities of the blind and to prevent occurrence of blindness. I don't even know it. I'm still trying to internalize, digest what I read about it this afternoon. He held various positions in organizations working for blind and actively participated in them. He was awarded the Star of the Millennium in the disabled category, which was handed over by the governor of Karnataka then. Conferred the Pilu Kambata Memorial Best Employee Award in 2000. He again went on, securing Best Employee Awards for visually impaired category by the Minister of Empowerment and Social Justice. This award was handed over by none other than the Honorable President of India. He was conferred SRVC Excellence Award in 2005 by Society of Rehabilitation for the Visually Impaired, Kotian, for achievements in information technology and inspiring many others to in the environment of sporting activities. Recipient of 7th Shell Helen Keller Award in 2005, and he has been ambassador of the cause for employment of disabled people and role model for many people who got inspired and achieved many big positions in their life. He wrote a paper on techpreneurship. We talk about entrepreneurship and many other entrepreneurship. So techpreneurship at the California State University season conference in 2007. Whilst in India, the occasional Golden Jubilee celebration of National Book Trust at IISc, Bangalore. He co-authored a paper of CAPTCHA. CAPTCHA we all know about, Case for Accessible Design for Information Security Systems. And I am skipping some of them. In 2006, at the Indo-US workshop organized by Delhi, he was awarded, he presented paper on ICT tools and technology for accessibility. He worked as moderator of Access India, a largest mailing list for the blind in India. He is qualified, his qualifications are again amazing. Master of Arts in Political Science in International Relations, Master of Science in Information Technology, 38 years of experience, I would say almost 42 years of experience, 40 to 42 years experience. He is, in his most recent job, I think he was the Assistant General Manager at RBI, and he is currently retired, but not really retired. He is in the candlelight to again continue to inspire others, teach others, encourage others to do more than what can do, tapping their internal potential. So with that, I'm again, as I'm very happy to introduce Harish sir. Chandana, back to you. Arvind, back to you.
Thank you very much, President Prashant sir, for the introduction. Yeah, it's really true what you said. When I read the profile also, I feel same like you. Even I didn't know a single matter about him. Just 1 week back only I came to know him. So really, he is a wonderful guy. And now I would like to invite Mr. Harish Kotian sir to enlighten us about the Reserve Bank of India's all about Reserve Bank of India. That's what I can say. And stage is yours, sir.
Yeah, good evening, everyone, and thanks for being very generous about me. And I mean, I was asked to speak about Reserve Bank and things like that. But to start with, let me start off with a disclaimer that I'm not a spokesman for RBI. And so whatever I'm saying is in my personal capacity. And what I have read and seen and experienced with RBI. So and that is essentially what I'll talk about. And I joined in 1981, and so the time when I joined and the time that I retired, that was in 2020. Almost 39 odd years. So it was a very wonderful association being with the Reserve Bank of India, and a very nice feeling that I always felt, because whenever I went about, uh, people, the moment I say that I'm from RBI, the interaction is very different. The respect that comes just being a part of RBI is something which has to be experienced, and it can't be told in words. So generally, the respect that people have for RBI is great. And of course, it deserves every bit of it, because it is an institution which has made great contribution to the country and others. It is considered one of the finest central banks in the world. I mean, we are different from commercial banks. We come under the category of known as central bank. We are that way a little different. So our Reserve Bank was set up in 1935 by Osborne Smith, and he was considered a very fine central banker, and he set the ground to for which the RBI built on it later on. It was initially there were three presidency banks of Bengal, Chennai, Bengal, Madras, and Mumbai. Those presidency banks were merged, and Reserve Bank got formed. It was formed by an act. It is very much established that way. The point is that very often people do ask, is RBI independent, or is it under the central government? So
Ayel,
to answer
Sila, your
this,
call
it's
to
very
one.
interesting. Yeah, someone had a question? To answer this, it's very interesting, because we are independent. We are very much independent. At the same time, there is a lot of interaction that happens with the central government itself. So, or despite being independent, we do work very closely with the central government, and the central government has an important agenda to run, and RBI facilitates that agenda, and that is what it is. As a central bank, there are very important functions of a central bank, that it has to maintain economic order. It has to regulate the banking system, and also the financial system. And these are the primary and issue of currency and maintaining foreign exchange. So these are the traditional functions of any central bank, which RBI also does. But RBI does much more than any other central bank, because in most central banks, as far as maintaining stability in the economy, it restricts up to there. It doesn't go beyond that. But RBI has taken upon itself a more development role as well. So not only that it is responsible for maintaining economical order, but it also ensures that there is growth that takes place in the country. And to make sure that the growth takes place in the right direction, it has also taken up a lot of developmental role. It has set up institutions like IDBI, like NABARD. It has set up those institutions. It nurtured those institutions, uh, uh, and uh, uh, and has brought it to age. And these are very important things. Apart from that, you would have also realized that for any economy to run, the capital market has to be vibrant, and the market system itself has to be vibrant, that economic activity can take place smoothly. So to promote capital market, we set up the UTI, and that was a precursor which helped in developing capital market, the culture of capital market in the country, and bring stability and depth in the capital market. So RBI has a very important role. It has gone beyond its jurisdiction and has taken up many activities like that. Now, even housing finance, for that it started the housing bank. So there are many things that RBI has taken as a developmental banker, not only as maintaining financial stability, but also to bring development in the country. And so this is, you can say, broadly, as far as a market building is concerned. Now, for any economic activity, there has to be an order, and RBI has various tools to bring economic stability, to spurt growth, or whenever it feels that the money supply is more, the inflation is going too fast, or is at an alarming level. So it intervenes in it, and uh, um, reduces the money supply. It cuts out the money supply that is there. Or if it feels that there should be more liquidity in the market, and there should be more growth happening in the market, so at that time also it intervenes and takes those measures which need to dampen or stimulate. And so whatever be the situation, it does that. It is also a regulator of the banking system. Now, again, in the banking system also, traditional central banks which are there, it restricts itself only to issue license, or to revoke, or bring some regulations and things like that. But RBI has taken much larger role, even in this area of regulation also. For instance, like in Western countries, they have problems of bank failing, and so which causes a lot of problems to the people who have put in their funds in the banking system. So we started with the guarantee schemes where we guarantee that a certain amount of the money that is there in the savings account in your account is protected. So it reduced the incidence of banks failing. I mean, the stability of the banking system in India is just too good. I mean, we hardly hear of any banks, say, sort of failing, which happens quite often in other countries. I mean, we have seen very large banks in US and other countries just failing like that. And the problem is that when large banks or financial institutions they fail, it doesn't restrict only to that bank. It leaves a contagion effect, and there is a spiral which happens, one leading to another, that's the second to the third and fourth and so on. In that aspect, the central bank has to be very vigilant and ensure that the discipline and the regulation that is required in the economy, it sustains. I mean, very recently, you already have also read that in China, many of their banks have failed, and like a lot of intervention had to be done and things like that. So it's a very difficult walk that RBI it takes, because whatever measure that it takes, it has a correspondent effect in some other area. For instance, if inflation has to be tackled, so if inflation has to be tackled, we will have to reduce money supply. If we have to reduce money supply, the effect that it will have is that we will have to stunt growth. So we'll have to take care of that. If we stunt growth, then unemployment will increase. If unemployment increase, the ability for people to purchase goes down. So it's one leading to the other, and it can happen so very rapidly that it's a very tight walk that RBI has to deal. I mean, not everybody appreciates what central banks really do, because there is not much of interface that happens with the central bank and the common public. So as a result, people really don't come to know the thin walk that a central bank has to tread on and make sure that things are in order. For instance, we had this East Asian crisis where many central banks failed in the East Asian countries. So RBI was proactive, and it took measures, sufficient measures, so the impact didn't fall on Indian economy at all. Very recently, there was a depression that happened in the Western countries, and it had a very big toll in countries like UK, US, and other Western countries, where it led to lot of job loss and things like that. And there was a fear that the recession would have its impact on India as well. And it was a time that the whole world was taken with another storm of COVID, and that was another huge dampener for everybody. So many people lost their lives, so many people lost their jobs, their near and dear ones, and the economy, like the long period that the people had to be indoors and things like that. It had a huge impact to the entire world. But as far as India is concerned, the steps that Indian government had taken and RBI also had taken, and it gave though leeways to borrowers who had taken loan. They gave them extended timeline to repay their debts and things like that. Gave them some bit of stimulus also, and so on. So after COVID impact, what was happening was that particularly in the West, I mean, what happens in US, it percolates very quickly to all over the world. With US, they during their time when they were trying to cope the recession that had gone into their economy. They try to manage the situation by putting a lot of stimulus into the economy. So basically, they pumped in a lot of money into the economy, and thereby increasing money supply, giving money in the hands of people, and so that people would buy and kick off economic activity. But the thing that happened with it was that because of stimulus that was there, so money supply went increased, and as a result, inflation rose very sharply, and not only in US, UK, Canada, and Germany, and all the developed countries, they had to grapple with another situation that they had to manage inflation. Those countries, generally their inflation is just about 2 to 3%, and so they didn't really know how to handle a situation like that. But in India, we are sort of used to inflation, and we were able to manage the situation as far as inflation is concerned. So the thing is that to manage the economy is a very, very difficult task, because the spillage of it is considerable. And another function of RBI, major function of RBI, is currency function. So So currency function also is very much tied up with the economy. For instance, not many people know how RBI really goes on printing currency, whether there are any limits to it, or it can go to any limit, and it can print currency to whatever limit that they fancy. It is not like that. I mean, the currency function and the banking function are two distinct functions of RBI, and the accounts of both are maintained separately. They are never merged. I mean, even cash in circulation is a debt. It is a liability to a reserve bank. So to the liability, it has to be matched up with an asset. So the what is the asset to the liability of cash in circulation? So we have a couple of assets that are there: foreign exchange, then we have gold, then we have securities and things like that. So it has to balance. If, for instance, if we print more money, then the balance of the issue department will the balance of the issue department and that of the banking department will go out of sync, and it will go out of control. So there is a lot of parity that is that is there as a built-in mechanism within the function, and as a result, it is not that RBI can print any amount or whatever. So there is a discipline that is there, and so it has to be done within those parameters only. And as far as currency functions are concerned, like, I mean, whenever banknote is designed, there is very specialized people involved in that process. It's a very it's a very sort of important activity, because security of the currency is also just as important. And so a lot of security features are there in a currency note. I mean, people also have a belief that maybe there is some chip or something in the currency note. There isn't anything like that, but there are other built-in security features which are there in the currency notes. As far as visual disabled persons are concerned, post demonetization, we were in a situation, or we continue to be in a situation where we find it difficult to distinguish one currency note from another. And so that problem actually came in only after that. Before that, our currency as such was easy to distinguish, and it was far better than other countries like that of US, where all the denominations are of one size. But that advantage sort of we lost, and we really don't know when we will get that back again. But all in all, that I would say is a sort of a setback as far as visually disabled persons are concerned with the RBI. So that would be a setback, so to say. And it is we saw the economic function, we saw the banking function, then we saw the currency function, and we are banker to the government also. So to the central bank, we have to provide banking services to the central government by law, and to state government by agreement. We have agreement with all the state governments, and so that is how we provide banking services to state governments as well. Uh, so uh, so we are advisors to them, be it central government or the state government. We help them for them to raise money through auctions and things like that. The loans which are there, we help them. And the central government loans, and as well as the state government loans, they are also part of the financial system. They are also a part of the monetary tools which are there, and which RBI uses to manage and control the banking system. So coming again a little bit to the banking part of it, is that I mean, I was also told to give some insight into some of the terms which are used in Reserve Bank, and so that people can make themselves familiar with it. So you must have heard of a term called a CRR, cash reserve ratio. So what is this cash reserve ratio? Cash reserve ratio is that ratio which commercial banks are supposed to maintain in their in the accounts of with RBI. So every bank, every commercial bank, they are supposed to maintain an account with RBI. So that is the minimum balance which they are supposed to, and the CRR is the ratio which they are supposed to keep it by mandate. The highest CRR which was there was as much as up to 15%. It was somewhere around 91 or something. It had peaked up to 15%. And so presently it's at 4%. I think it's presently it's at CRR is at 4%. What happens is when the CRR increases, when the CRR increases, the effect that happens is the amount of money that is available to the banks to lend gets reduced. When the amount of money that is available for the bank when it gets reduced, the money supply reduces. When the money supply reduces, the interest rate goes up. When the interest rate goes up, it becomes difficult to borrow. When it becomes difficult to borrow, the economic activity goes down. So these are the things which happens, like, so if we want I mean, if you have to use CRR as one of the tools to manage the economy, so if we want to stimulate growth, then we will reduce the CRR. So at one point of time, it had risen as much as I told you, it had gone up to 15%, and now it has come down to 4%. Then there is another terminology which also keeps happening all the time. That is SLR, that is statutory liquidity ratio. Statutory liquidity ratio is a term with which the net demand and time liability that every bank faces. There, see, banks, they give loans to everybody. They also have deposits with them. So the demand and time liability that is there. So a certain percentage of it, the banks are supposed to keep it with RBI. Why is it? Because the banks also should have assets. So to bring more stability, like they just can't go on giving loan beyond what they can hold and to the assets. So to bring in that parity, the SLR rates are set, and again it is again a part of the tool that we use to manage the economy. It had gone as much as 38%, I think somewhere around 1960s, and right now, I think it is around 8%. I think I'm not very sure about the figure, but it has come down drastically from those levels. So so then there is this repo rate and reverse repo rate. So a repo rate is that rate which RBI charges to banks whenever they borrow from Reserve Bank. So that is the rate that RBI charges to banks for borrowing from Reserve Bank. So that's presently at 4%. Then there is reverse repo rate that RBI buys securities from banks. So when we want to suck liquidity from the market, we buy securities through open market operations. So we buy securities which are there in the market, and that is done through the process of the reverse repo mechanism. So that is it. Then also people have questions like about the convertibility part of it. I mean, is Indian rupee convertible, or is it not convertible? The answer to this is that we are fully convertible in the we are partially convertible in the capital market and fully convertible in the this not the capital market, the other market which is there. So capital market, we are not fully convertible. So if anybody wants a foreign currency for genuine purposes, that is for trade and things like that, so there is no restriction on that. There are no limits, so to say. So there are no limits for for those type of transactions. But if say you want to buy assets in foreign currency in other countries or other economy, then some restrictions have been put, some limits have been placed, and so those are essentially done so that that we have seen in East Asia when they went for full convertibility. So there would be a flight from the country. Foreign exchange, when it comes in or when it goes out very rapidly, it can shake the economy very badly. So that is the reason why we have gone slow on convertibility on the capital market. So these are some of the things, and as far as uh, uh, to take care of public money. I mean, we are very concerned about the deposits which are there. It's something very important for us that the deposits, the money which people have kept in the bank, is available to them whenever they want or whenever it is agreed upon. So public money is something which we consider to be very important, and that people don't lose the money which they have, that the trust that people have built on with the banking system, it is maintained at all the time, and that there is no shaking of that. So that is a confidence level that RBI has built up and generated and worked on it to see that happen. So as a part of financial inclusion, also we have been going to a lot of public awareness. You must have seen ads coming on prime time as well, and in different places, making people aware of the different type of frauds which can possibly happen, and it usually happens because of wrong behavior, so to say, behavior in the sense that people are not careful, and essentially they are not aware. So because of not being aware, they do blunders which can cost them a lot. So RBI tries to make them aware through the financial inclusion program that is there. And when people do face any trouble with any of the participants of the banking system, we also have the mechanism of banking ombudsman, where it's an inexpensive way in which anybody can raise a complaint with the banking ombudsman in their jurisdiction, and so there is no charge or any cost involved, and through the banking ombudsman process, RBI tries to settle issues that customers face. So broadly, these would be the overview of RBI, and it was wonderful working with RBI. When I joined in 81, the scene was very different. Like, I mean, I didn't face much of the thick-lipped attitude, so to say. So, like, I mean, even the higher-ups were approachable at that time, and somewhere in mid 80s, we also we started direct recruitment of B grade officers, who had got an opportunity fast track to higher positions and things like that. RBI, as a matter of fact, all central bankers are very conservative in their approach, and so RBI is also a very conservative, and we have to be conservative. We can't be impulsive, really. So we are conservative. At the same time, we have been adjusting ourselves and making ourselves comfortable in the environment that it keeps evolving. And so as far as technology also, RBI has taken to it very well. In fact, we were the very first few people who got computers to work with. And initially there was a lot of resistance from the staff, and it was to that level that we couldn't get the computers to our premises. Our computers were kept for some time in BRC, the Atomic Research Center at Mumbai. And so our people would go there and operate and things like that. But soon, like computer adoption also took place very nicely, very smoothly rather. I mean, everybody was apprehensive whether computerization process would go smoothly, but it happened. Like they did give some incentives to the employees, and as a result, it helped in breaking the ice, so to say. And so initially, most of our computers were sort of centrally driven. I mean, very few computers, and then we went into a period where it was decentralized, and people got to sort of to develop different applications for RBI. And then from there, we went on to a centralized approach. And we are having our own data centers, and it is a high-class data center having the best of equipment in the world. And I had the privilege of working there, and I'm glad that RBI took confidence in me in placing me in such a sensitive area, sensitive location. And I retired out of that center, and it was a wonderful experience working in our data center. And it's something which I will always cherish and be happy about. So I guess I should be asking for questions now. So if there are any questions which are there in the chat, someone can read it out to me, because I have switched off my screen reader, and I'll try to answer as best as I can. And please let me know when it is time to close. We can always close the conversation. So
Oh,
back to
thank
Chandra.
you. Thank you very much, Harish sir, for the wonderful talk. Really, RBI is a very big institution, and you are covered all the important items in a short short period. So there are already a lot of questions in the chat also. Before going to the chat, actually I have a few questions. Can you explain what is the GDP? Everywhere in the newspaper we used to read GDP is another term.
Yes. So GDP is gross domestic produce. That is the income of each and every person in the country. Each and every income is pooled together, and that divided with the number of persons. So that goes on to be your GDP.
Okay. And then another main questions from a visually impaired perspective is whenever we used to open a new bank account, especially we are facing this problem in nationalized banks. So they are not ready to give ATM cards and other facilities for visually impaired. So at the time when we show all the rights like RBI guidelines and government guidelines, everything. If we show, then also they are not ready to accept. The bank managers are very adamant. So at that time, how visually impaired can approach RBI, or ombudsman can Is he helps us to avail all the benefits? Like,
See, the thing is that RBI has come out with very progressive guidelines on this, and it has mandated that all banking services should be given to disabled persons, including visually disabled. They are very, very candid about it. So the circulars from RBI are very clear. But the problem that is happening is down the line, somebody is actually trying to be very smart. And they think they are more smarter than RBI is, and because they are in a position in that particular bank branch, they are the biggest person out there. So they think that they can get away with it. And what really happens is that a person goes to the bank and he says he wants to open the account, and the manager or whoever officer who is sitting out there orally tells them it's not possible, you have this difficulty, you have that difficulty, how is it possible? There are instances that people also say that RBI is sitting in glass towers, they don't know what is happening in the villages and all other places. They don't experience, they don't know what the commercial banking is all about. They are all busy in doing their central banking functions. They don't really know what commercial banking is, and it is not possible for a visually disabled person to operate bank accounts. There is this problem and that problem, all sorts of problems they will spin at you, and they will say it's not possible, and they'll throw you out. The problem is in this entire interaction is there is no footprint. There is nowhere that there is a trail to say that you have been discriminated. So this is the problem that really is there. So essentially, what one can do is that one should actually go to the bank site and try to open an account or put in a request from there. And so, firstly, there will be a trail up there. So when you are interacting with the bank also, carry these circulars which are there, which are there both from Reserve Bank as well as for Indian Bank Association. Both have given operational and circulars that for banking services to be availed, and ATM cards, lockers, everything to be provided. So you carry with them. Do also try to uh, record something or do something so that there is a footprint that that something like this is happening at that particular bank branch level. So if you are able to bring in that, then from there onwards, that manager or whoever is that official who is throwing you out, he can be taken to task, because as such, like uh, you are not until unless you become an account holder, you are not a client of that bank. So a relationship is not established between the bank and you. So but so they can always say that they are not interested in you being a client to them. So that option is available to them. But the thing is that they are refusing, not exercising the option whom they want as a client or not. They are refusing on the basis of disability. So when they are refusing to open an account on the issue of disability, so their discrimination kicks in, and their rights of persons with disability also comes in, and so there you can establish that you have been discriminated. So if I mean, an easy way out is that uh, mm, we have blind people working in all the public sector banks. So through them, we can ask somebody from that bank to call up that particular branch and make him understand that he cannot do something like that. That is one way of dealing it in an informal way. And of course, you can lodge a complaint with Customer Service Department of Reserve Bank of India, Banking Ombudsman also, and So those remedies are also available. But if they take you as a customer, okay, and they deny, they deny, say, issuing you a credit card, or deny giving you a bank locker or any other facility, then the relationship is a little different. Now you are already a customer. When you are a customer, you have your rights as such. So a relation is established now between you and the bank. So if they deny anything like that, so what you do is you don't do it orally. Again, you put in a written request and insist that whatever, if they're denying, also to give it in writing that they're denying whatever service that they want to deny. As much as possible, try to do it on email, because email is also legally tenable. So once you have made a complaint on email, so it's the trail will be there that you had made a complaint, and so if anybody has to investigate about that also, it is not difficult to investigate about that as well. So these are some of the ways with which you can beat this situation, because I know it is there, it has happened, it is happening also, and it will continue to happen as well. But as far as Reserve Bank of India is concerned and Indian Banks Association is concerned, there are very clear-cut guidelines on it. There's a handbook also which I was a part of, which we had given to IBA, and wherein all these circulars for have been put together, and uh, so we have in fact told all the commercial banks, I mean through IBA, that all the banks, they set up an accessibility center, and so all such cases can be dealt with it. State Bank and Union Bank, they have taken measures, and they are having a cell for accessibility related, and particularly these two banks are doing very good as far as accessibility and banking services for disabled persons are concerned. They are doing extremely well, Union Bank and State Bank of India.
Thank you very much, Harish, questions, sir. So a lot of people are waiting. There are a lot of questions are waiting.
Yes.
So sorry for the making others wait. I request Prashant sir to ask a question, and please manage the chat also.
Sure. Thank you. Sir, this is basically an extension of what we just discussed or you shared. It is practically, in my perspective, not possible to carry a copy of the RBI guidelines or consumer rights privileges and policy to the branch, because I would say most of the consumers, RBI is a black box. We don't understand. We think RBI is tool for the government, and a lot of bank employees, yes, there are some smart people, but people don't know the revised guidelines. We don't know what questions to ask. So my ask and request is, I know we can't solve the problem here. If we can initiate a, start from Karnataka or something like that, project where every branch, there will be a kiosk with RBI consumer rights privileges, where in multi-languages, where consumers can go and verify if somebody says something different than what they expect. So I'm more than happy to work with you if this is something practical to implement, because this is very, very important for consumers to exercise their rights, enjoy their privileges after having part of the being the citizen and paying taxes and part of the system. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a part of our inclusion drive, which RBI does go to people. It is done that way. Like they do set up kiosks in large exhibition areas and public places, and they have it at different places, and so it happens. But as I said, uh, systematically, as a system, the system is there in place, but these are the odd events which happen in different places, and it is the person who is a problem. It is not the system which is a problem. It is a person who is sitting up there. He is a problem, and in such a vast country, mm, it. I mean, when a system is in place, it is expected to work. But we have gone out to the people as what you had suggested. We have been doing that, but it is in a limited way.
Thank you,
So
sir.
I request Prashant sir to take up the questions from the chat box.
I not seeing any more questions. If anybody has any questions, please
No, I
raise.
think somebody
Sir,
has
there
put
is only one
one
There
question.
is RLS,
One-
LRS, any resident? Yeah, please go ahead, madam.
So you can ask the question. There's one question in the chat. You can
Okay.
read that out.
Is that the 2 lakh?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, is there anybody else interested in asking questions?
Madam, I think you have joined from 2 devices. Your voice is echoing.
Ma'am, there is one question in the chat, so I was requesting Prashant sir to read that
Yeah,
out.
I think it's not written to group chat, maybe written to privately to you or Arvind sir, I think.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'll read out the question. The question goes like, 1 second. 1 minute. Under LRS, any resident individual can transfer $250,000
per year. That's a information, not a question. That's from our secretary.
Okay, that was not a question. Okay, fine.
That is correct, yes.
Okay, so Chandana, unmute everyone. Is there anybody has any questions?
Everybody can unmute. I just
Yeah.
had one question here. You were talking about CRR, you were talking about liquidity ratio and all of these things. How does the central bank come up with this percentage? Like it should be this. What are the instruments that come up about this percentage? Yeah, one is inflation, yes. Other than that, what are the things that is considered for this percentage?
Yeah, so we have one high-level committee, monetary planning, MPD. That meets every once in 2 months, and it gauges the economy, and it recommends what would be its view the economy would take place in the next 2 months, and what measure needs to be done in that. So during that monetary policy review, they take stock of the economy, and they also, if required, they adjust these ratios which are there. So it is that department, it's an advisory department, not a department, it's a council of eminent economists who are there. So they give their recommendation, and the recommendation is not binding, but generally we do take it into consideration. It's very important for us.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, back to you, Harish, sir.
One more question in the chat. Actually, you have already answered that. He's asking about the accessible currency. What about accessible currency developments regarding that?
Yeah, so the thing is that about the currency part, it is actually sub judice, because some people have gone to court regarding the non-accessibility of the currency, particularly post demonetization period. So that process is happening in court, and it is being played in court. So that will happen. But the thing is that something very nice that has happened in the Indian economy is that we have adopted digital currency quite a lot. So the level of usage of digital transaction has really grown. And I'm presently in a village, and I can do all the transaction without actually using physical cash. be it any of the petty shops in our locality, auto, whatever. So everybody, it is possible for us to make a payment through digital mode. So UPI has been a great success story, which RBI also has some role to play. And that has gone very well. Now RBI has also piloted with its own digital currency. I have tested it. I have an account with ICICI Bank, and I did try the digital currency. So it was not accessible. I gave my feedback to them, but it will happen. I mean, it will be fixed. But these are the preliminary things which are there as far as digital currency also is concerned. I guess the scene in the digital currency is far better than the physical currency.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Arvind sir, before we go ahead with the Q&A, let's have one picture. I request all of you to please turn on your videos.
Prashant sir, you can ask directly.
As we switch on our videos, the question is very simple. Sir, again, is a long answer for this. The cryptocurrency, Indian crypto, we wanted to not go with the crypto, make it valid or, regularize and things like that. However, RBI wanted to have our own crypto. So some of the banks, working with customers to be part of the soft launch. Is crypto going to happen or it is just a try?
Yeah, actually, it's a very interesting question, and I'm glad that you have asked this question. The thing is that, crypto is a black box because nobody owns it. So when it is not owned by anybody, it cannot be regulated. So the difficulty with all the central banks in the world are having is that not being able to regulate. So that is the reason why RBI and other central banks are not inclined towards crypto. And as we have seen that a lot of shady things take place within the crypto environment, and it actually promotes black money. It promotes parallel economy and things like that. So there are huge implications to allow crypto unregulated. So to have it in a regulated form, that is how RBI has come up with its central banking currency, where it is regulated, and so we can use, but not crypto as such. That the technology is usable. The technology, we do promote technology of that, but not crypto as a currency or a means of exchange.
Sir, I have a question. Recently, our dollar rate against rupee is increasing like 82 point something, 83 it is reaching. So is there any steps RBI is taking? And also I know that recently Government of India is trying to do business with other countries with their own currency like Russia and with other countries. So how it goes? How much time it will take to reduce our dollar rate?
So the thing is that US dollar is a very dominant currency in the world, where most of the transaction takes place. So this dollar dominance has its mal effects also, and so that is the reason why there is a need for other instruments, something very close to that. So there was a period post World War where a lot of countries faced difficulty with foreign exchange, particularly after the petroleum hike which happened, the instability which happened somewhere in 70s and things like that. So there was a need to have something not exactly as a replacement for dollars. So the IMF came up with the SDR, that is special drawing right. So every country were given SDRs based on certain parameters, which is a sort of a loan which was given, and it's a non-repayable loan. So that was one of the means for to become something alternate to dollar as a part of currency, which could also be traded. SDRs also can be traded between one country and another country. So that is one. Secondly, about the fluctuations with say to one currency, be it rupee or with another currency. So it is it has got a lot of to do with many things that are there now. As far as now two currency, Indian rupee and dollar is concerned. So what happens is there is another index which is there, which tells of the dollar vis-a-vis other countries. So if you see the Indian rupee and that particular ratio, they move very close to each other, and RBI it uh, it uh, it doesn't directly intervene in foreign exchange. In the past, it used to do it entirely. We used to do it entirely ourselves, but now we don't directly intervene. Whenever we need to buy or sell, we have our own agents. I mean, which are other para bankers, so who do it for us. So we look in the situation, and we don't publish targets, but we have certain targets in mind, and we try to keep it as close to that target, and based on that target, whenever we need to intervene, we buy a foreign currency. Whenever we feel that the price needs some alteration, we also sell our foreign currency. So it is a very tricky job that is done, and it is done, but with certain target which RBI thinks, but it is not printed or published or prescribed in any way, and it is modified all the time. So we do target, but it is not that irrespective of whatever is the rate, our rate will be X amount to a dollar or whatever. Those are not practice. Those used to be there once upon a time. Once upon a time, I remember dollar and rupee was 7 rupees 50 paisa, something that was somewhere in 70s, 80s or something. It was around that time. You know, for a very long time, that price was fixed, and it continued to be there, and things like that. But now it is floating, depending on the situation. We intervene or we sell foreign currency depending on the situation. Yeah.
Sir, one more question in the chat. Pradeep is asking, is there any concession or less amount of interest for persons with disabilities while taking a loan?
Yeah. There used to be actually there used to be DRI, differential rate of interest, which was given in the past, which probably may still be there also, but they are not all that effective and things like that. there are better instruments for that. We have a disability finance commission and things like that. So where I think that would be more receptive than differential rate of interest, because the amount that was there also was very small, and it would just give a difference about two percentage points or something of that sort. So it was I mean it had meaning in the past, but right now it is not really relevant.
In this moment, I would like to share one more thing. Like in Karnataka, for visually impaired people of government, who are all working in government, they have started a cooperative society for visually impaired persons. So it is running very nicely. They are supporting very nicely, and cooperative society is doing very good job.
Yeah, so it's always
Yeah.
good to run a cooperative, because it is collective wisdom that is there, and the requirements and needs of one another are encouraged, and so cooperative is definitely a very sensible means to take up activities like that, and as a group also it becomes easy for financial institution also to support them, the cooperatives as well. Like, I mean, whenever they do have a requirement for funds and things like that. So the mechanism to raise funds in that is far better, and it is better doing it that way. Yeah.
Sir, one more last question from my side. So as we all know, while getting any loans for a common man, any banks they will put lot of questions, and they will ask lot of documents, and any industrialist or any big guy, when he wants loan, they will what is that? They will avoid all the rules and regulations. They will give loans, and after that they cheat the bank, and the other people will suffer. Is there any way to avoid to make this happen? Like I am concerned about it. I'm not asking question. Is there any way to control this digitally or any other ways? Because human people like bank managers and other higher officials, they involve with the industrialist people or somebody else. They
Yeah, I get the
yeah, like
question, and I know what you're trying to hint at also.
yeah.
See, the thing is that mm, uh, these are sort of, I mean, outrightly they are frauds which are committed. I mean, there is no to this. So it is engineered and planned and done that way. So it is it's a sort of the systemic failure which was there in the past. We did have Harshad Mehta and such scams which took place, and there was certain things which they took advantage of, and those are all plugged in. So as a result, now the public debt office is now fully automated and fully computerized. So as far as what was done at that time, there is absolutely no scope for it now to do it in that particular way during the Harshad Mehta time. But there are other frauds also which has happened with some business houses which are there, and I mean, RBI has put in as a part of regulation and as a part of inspection also. They see in such accounts, those big accounts, and they do conduct inspections to all the banks, and they do see all of these. Some of them are caught, some of them because it's not possible to go each and every account to go and check in, because there is again a balancing act that has to be done. Because if we do excessive regulation, then in that case, it becomes a problem. The banking industry will not function if we do micromanagement. So we don't do micromanagement, we do macromanagement. So we try and see that the systems are in place, and there are limits to how much or how much exposure a bank can take with particular entities and things like that. So for large scale things, it is becoming more and more difficult to do. But see, human mind is very dynamic, and it tries to see, like, how the system can be beaten and things like that. There are certain type of people who try to think that they can get away with it, but sooner or later they are brought to book. And in the last few years, the number of amount which was classified as bad debt and all that, that has dropped sharply. That has dropped sharply. In fact, I mean, probably not many would know that RBI makes profit also. I mean, that is not the intention to make profit, but it also makes a profit. Like, I think last year it was something around 84,000 crores, and the year before that it was in 30 odd crores. And the one of the main reason why there was a sharp increase is that we had to do less provision for these bad debts and things like that. So as a system, you can say that it is becoming all the more difficult for people to beat the system. They will be caught sooner or later. And I mean, I would say the system is pretty robust and stable, and one need not be too much worried. I mean, many are things, it is hyped politically for political mileages, but overall, I can say the banking system of ours is excellent and pretty stable.
I think, Arvind, we all will switch on the camera. It's kind of
Yeah, it's already getting very late, and also Padmakshi ma'am is also waiting since a long time.
Harish, thank you so much. It'd be nice if we could switch on a camera.
My camera, actually, my laptop was Windows 10, and I upgraded to Windows 11, and it didn't have a direct upgrade. I forced an upgrade to it, and the parting at the
It's
camera
okay.
module.
It's absolutely okay, sir.
Yeah,
I
so
I would
sorry.
request everybody else to switch on the camera, please.
Just for a minute.
Guru Shankar, sir, Pradeep, Suresh Kumar.
I think we can take Arun. Pooja, you can go ahead and take the picture. And let us know once you're done.
Yes. Pooja,
Pooja, you're done?
hello, Pooja.
Okay, Arvind sir, you can go ahead.
I'm done.
Thank you.
Yeah, Arvind sir, over to you.
Okay, sir. I was on mute and talking. So, thank you very much, everybody. Sorry for I am taking more time. Like I took more, half an hour more, because this is a very important topic. So, lot of people has lot of questions. Of the session, I request Rotarian President Dr. Padmakshi Madam to give the vote of thanks.
Namaste, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Loud and clear, ma'am.
Thank you, Harish sir. First, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to you. All of us knew that a rich man is not a person who has money. A rich man is somebody who is very wise, who knows how to use his money very well, and then where to go properly. And you really gave us wonderful information about what is, right, what is wrong, who can do fraud to us, and all. That was really wonderful and extensive information. Thank you so much. My personal thanks, and also thanks from the whole team of Rotary Abilities, Rotary RR Nagar, and Rotary Nagar Babi. Thank you so much, sir. And
Thanks to Rotary Abilities and all the Rotaries for giving me this platform to interact with all of you. I like the questions that came in also, and it was very nice to be with all of you. Y'all are doing great work and continue to do the great work that I have been always and known for. So I'm very happy to be with you, and I'm happy that I could give some information to you all, and then this interaction have been of some use to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you
Harish.
so much, Harish sir.
Thank you so much for readily agreeing to come and speak to all of us about the valuable information.
thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks to our president of Rotary Abilities, Chandana. And I also want to wish you belated birthday wishes. Maybe this is a gift you're giving to all of us because it was really wonderful. Thank you for that. Thank you, Arvind
so
sir.
much, ma'am.
You really asked a lot of
you.
questions and coordinated very, very well. Arun, thank you. Thanks to everybody who has joined the program, and I would also like to extend my thanks to my another co-president Prashant sir, because he just messaged me and said he had to go for another program, so he just left. And thanks to everybody for your patient listening, and also thanks to all who have directly, indirectly, helped us to make this program happen. And thanks to being wonderful audience to members of all Rotary Abilities and other clubs, Rotary RR Nagar and Rotary Nagar Bhavi. Thanks, Chandana, once again for giving me the opportunity to tell thanks, because that's really important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Now
Thanks,
I request
anytime.
President. Thank you very much,